Alright, what's going on, you guys? Sam from Brother Bet. In this video, I'll be doing my full card predictions, analysis, picks, and bets for UFC FIght Night 93, Santos versus Walker. I divide this video as follows. First, I'll talk about the previous results, then on to all the picks and the bets, and then I'll break this card down for you guys. If you wish to support the channel, stick until the end to show you how. So if you're new around here, I keep my stats, my metrics by my own. In this spreadsheet here, you guys can see basically everything that I have for this year, and I consolidated for the last year. The main things here are probably my pick percentages and the overall accuracy. So for the last card, UFC FIght Night UFC 266, sorry, I have had a small loss. The underdogs that I bet was Shamil and Moraes mainly. They didn't cash, but I had some wins there with Robbie Lawler, with Volkanovski and Hooker, so basically broke even, but nonetheless was a small loss. Alright, so this is how things are adding up in terms of how much money I risk already from the beginning of the channel, you know, how much units I have in profit, my profit per event, right? And then I divide these things in high, medium, and low quality bets, and this is the overall results per segment. Sorry. And this is the overall my overall performance in here, right? So like I tell you guys all the time, I don't hide anything. In last months has been quite interesting, but I'm not cashing much, but nonetheless it's here and it's all transparent, right? So guys, let me talk about all the picks and the bets as of now. And by the way, if you guys see me in the corner, let me know if you're a returning subscriber, if this is better for you. I would rather just the screen share part. Alright, so between Kryzs, Jotko and Misha Cirkunov, I'm picking Jotko, but not betting the fight. Joe Solecki versus Jared Gordon, I'm picking betting Gordon. 0.75% of my money. Douglas De Silva versus Gaetano Pirrello, I'm picking De Silva but not betting the fight. Kevin Holland versus Kyle Daukaus, I'm picking and betting Daukaus. 1% of my money. Kevin Holland versus Casey O'Neill versus Antonina Shevchenko, I'm picking O'Neill but betting Shevchenko. 1% of my money. Alejandro Perez versus Johnny Eduardo, I'm picking Perez but betting Eduardo. 1% of my money. Soriano versus Fernando Padilla, I'm picking Soriano. Still don't know if I'm gonna bet. The odds hasn't been released. Niko Price versus Oliveira, I'm picking Oliveira but not betting the fight. Alexander Hernandez versus Mike Breeden, picking Hernandez. Probably won't bet, but they're still waiting for the odds. Stephanie Egger versus Shana Young, I'm picking Egger but not betting the fight. Karol Rosa versus Bethe Correia, I'm picking Rosa but gonna probably betting Correia by decision. Thiago Santos versus Johnny Walker, I'm picking and betting Santos. Less than 1 unit, parlaying Santos and some parlays. Jamie Mullarkey versus Devonte Smith, I'm picking and betting Mullarkey. Alright, so on to the breakdown, guys. It's a pretty big card. I'm try to be concise here, so you guys had enough, but give enough details so you guys can have overall picture, right? So between Hernandez versus Breeden, guys, right off the bat, this is it's quite a good matchup for Alexander Hernandez, if I'm gonna be honest with you. The reason is Breeden likes to get inside of guys, you know, he's more like a plotting style, where he again gets inside, tries to use his boxing combinations. He's at his best when he can land to the body, close the gap, you know, and keep touching. Not gonna be easy to do against Hernandez, who is like an explosive guy from the outside. He likes to, you know, to draw guys in and then explode with that too. He can move forward too with the explosive one too. He can take guys down. He's a decent grappler, Hernandez, you know, he's the better grappler. So this is a fight that Hernandez should win, to be honest, guys. I think he's gonna do it by TKO, because Breeden again gonna try to get inside, unless he changes his style, which I don't think he has much room for that. But he's gonna probably try to get inside, and if he does that, he's probably gonna get caught, you know, by a powerful shot, or gonna get taken down. Alright, so this is my prediction here. By my calculation, Alexander should be like 65% favorite, which will give you minus 230, and the Breeden would be quite an underdog here, but I'm going with Hernandez by TKO. On to the next fight, Shana Young versus Stephanie Egger. Another interesting one, because they have a little bit different styles here. Young, she's a good striker, likes the 1-2 and body kick especially, you know. She also has a good sprawl and quite decent takedown defense. From her back, she can create scrambles, but she's not that excellent. She has some holes in her game. She's fighting Stephanie Egger, who's quite the opposite in this regard. She can strike a little bit, but she has holes on her striking game. Egger also is not that great of a wrestler. She only has like a body lock, you know, and from top she's pretty good. I think she's a BJJ black belt or a judo black belt, but she's a pretty good grappler. You know, she can pass the guard, land good ground and pound, and take the back. So if Egger takes just to the ground, she's a quite decent favorite, you know. But if Young keeps it standing, I would favor Young a little bit. But I think Egger has a more clear path to victory, so that's why I'm picking Egger here. You know, and I think she's gonna be able to basically hold a little bit herself on the feet with Young, and then eventually take it to the ground and control Young in there, right? But those are those things that could go either way. You know, both of them gonna have their moments. If one of them adjusts, you know, could be come down to whoever has the better cardio, which could be Young. Young also a little bit stronger, you know. So if you are betting Young, I don't blame you. You know, if you're picking Young as well. But I'm gonna be going with Egger here. I think she has a more clear path to victory. On to the next fight, Fernando Padilla versus Soriano. It's another interesting one. There's not much footage available for me on Padilla, his latest fight. From what I've seen, super tall, long guy, you know, likes to pull guard, good BJJ, can go leg locks and triangles, massive legs in terms of super lanes and long legs. So he has danger in there. He's fighting Soriano, who's a striking specialist. This guy can crack. He has a good 1-2 and good leg kick, good calf kicks. You know, he times very well when guys close in. Has a good overhand right. You know, side steps and bangs. So this guy is dangerous. You know, Soriano also has a decent grappling game. You know, he's not anything outstanding. You know, but he can shoot a double leg. He can sprawl. One more of those fights that is tough to predict in this case because I don't have much footage on Padilla on his latest outings. You know, he's a super young guy, so it's tough to see which version of him is gonna come again, right? But I'm going with Soriano here. I'm going by decision because Padilla has never been finished. He seems to be Mexican tough and whatnot, but I think Soriano gonna be able to do more damage and win a clear decision here. To the next fight, Niko Price versus Alex Oliveira. This is a fan-friendly banger, guys. This is gonna be probably exciting. And yeah, Niko Price, a guy who brings it. He gets inside and starts winging punches. You know, he shoots. He goes for, you know, anacondas, and he goes for arm triangles, all type of things. You know, this guy is dangerous. He's a finisher. He's fighting Oliveira here, who used to be more of a finisher himself. A guy that came in there and got inside and started, you know, hammering and take guys to the ground and doing the same from top. Oliveira is trying to pace himself a little bit better in his latest outings. You know, he's been KO'd a couple of times, and I think for him it's no longer fun to be KO'd all the time. So I see Oliveira trying to keep his range here, trying to time Niko Price. Don't make a mistake about it. Oliveira still will hold his ground and the brawl. I don't think this guy will back down from a brawl. So it's gonna be interesting to see when these guys close the gap between each other and they start swinging. I think Oliveira has a little bit more power, even though Price has power himself. But Price is the better grappler and the better wrestler. He uses better the takedowns, you know, better timing. Price is better from his back too. You know, Oliveira is pretty much doesn't have anything from his back, even though he's tough to take down. Oliveira is tough to take down. So back and forth here, guys, one or more. I'm going with Oliveira. I think he's going to be able to find a clean shot when Price closes the gap and basically land that heavy uppercut to the heavy pull too and put Price out, right? Oliveira also can shoot and take the top position. From the top, he's good, and he could hammer ground and pound as well. So I think Oliveira by TKO is a more likely scenario, but definitely Price could win by TKO, by submission, everything included, right? Alejandro Perez versus Johnny Eduardo. This is also an interesting one. Perez, he's a good fighter, but nothing impressive, guys. He's a guy that he guys should get inside and put pressure on guys using his good cardio, his toughness. You know, 1-2 leg kick, basic things, hooks. Then he shoots double legs, take top position, controls you. More gonna run and pound. On the defense, not the worst fighter. You know, I'm just pause for a second because of the siren here, guys. If I have enough time. Yeah, so it was gone before I was able to pause here. I don't have a mute button on my keyboard. So continuing here, hang on a second. So why this is yeah, so Perez, I think he's gonna be trying to do that, you know. Actually Perez is the best when he gets inside, he draws the attack and then he comes again, so it's more like a pressure fighter type of things. He's fighting Eduardo here, who is 41, but a good fighter, you know. This guy does a good job of keeping the range and landing his 1-2 himself when the opponent closes the gap. He favors counter striking a little bit more, Eduardo. When he goes forward, he makes mistakes, he gets inside guys and exposes his chin, coming in straight lines. It's not the best, but it's not gonna be a problem here unless Perez fights a counter-striking fight, which could happen, you know. It's tough to tell because Perez, he's in a good camp, but I'm not sure he's gonna be changing much here. Either way, you know, Eduardo has the reach here. I think we're gonna see Eduardo from the outside, Perez trying to close the gap, and then Eduardo gonna probably be able to pick his shots. The question here, can Eduardo survive the shots? I think he can. Perez is not the biggest hitter. So I was back and forth here, guys, to be honest. I'm going with Perez by decision just because of the age, you know, and he can land a heavier shot and steal the round type of things, you know. Eduardo is a tough guy. He's not easy to put out, you know. Of course, he's not growing younger, but it's another of those fights that it's pretty tricky to pick and to bet. Now to bet, actually, I'm waiting to bet Eduardo from plus 200 range because I think people are gonna be looking at the age and be betting Perez just, you know, automatically. I hope that people do that because I want to bet Eduardo from plus 200, right? And I think he has a little bit more chance for the KO included, you know, Eduardo. Not more chance, but basically the same. So to me, it's a pick him, and I'm picking Perez, but gonna be betting Eduardo here, right? Alex Hernandez has moved. Karol Rosa versus Bethe Correia. We're gonna be seeing Rosa being tested here. Rosa, she has the hype. She has 3 wins in a row. I'm not yet in the hype train, guys. I think she's yet to prove herself on her first fight against Lara Procopio. She got in a close fight, in a close stand-up with Lara Procopio, who is quite short and doesn't have anything special in there, you know. But Rosa is quite sharp on the striking, you know. She has a good one too, like kick, good fundamentals, doesn't make many mistakes, move the head well, good angles, you know. She's also very good from top. She's also a black belt, you know, so I am assuming that if she gets taken down, she's gonna be able also to scramble back up and create scrambles, hip escape, or even, you know, try to sweep type of things. She's fighting Bethe Correia, she's a pit bull for a reason. She's short, stocky, you know. She gets to your face, she closes the gap, and you know, whereas on girls in the clinch, she also tries to keep on the girl's face with the 1, 2, 3, you know, keeps pushing. That's basically her style. It's a quite boring, but it's an effective style. She fought for the title before, you know, so at some point she was a #1 contender as well. She's nothing special, guys, to be honest with you. You know, Correia, just based on pressure, she's also physically strong. You know, she's big for the division, even though she's short. So we're gonna see Karol Rosa tested here, I think, you know, because not gonna be easy to finish Bethe. You know, Rosa gonna try to stay on the outside. I think Bethe gonna eventually close the gap and try to wear on her. You know, Bethe on the clinch is not easy to deal with. Like I said, she's stalking there. You know, she's gonna be able to hold Rosa for some time. I think she's gonna keep in Rosa's face. I'm still picking Rosa. I think she has the better technique. You know, she could time and take it to the ground, you know, which would be very interesting here. You know, that's her safest path to victory, hands down. But if she doesn't, then there is a decent chance that she's not going to implement a good game plan because she doesn't have that much experience, you know, and she's still young and she's fighting quite a big name here, a girl that will try to get under her skin. So I think Bethe Correia by decision is the best bet here, guys. I would bet her from plus 300 by decision. This is probably going to be my only bet because I don't want to bet Rosa being a very strong favorite. Joe Solecki versus Jared Gordon. To me, this fight is based, this is Solecki's fight, one more of those fights that Solecki gonna probably be able to, you know, stay on the outside, make that slow-paced fight, you know, and take it to the ground. I know that Jared Gordon is a pressure fighter, so you may disagree with me here. The thing here, guys, I don't think Gordon gonna be able to stay too long in Joe Solecki's face because of the takedowns. You know, also Solecki hits a little bit harder than Gordon. You know, I know that Solecki doesn't have the strike technique, he's pretty sloppy at times, you know. But he's a big guy for the division, he's young and he hits fairly hard, you know, because of his the nature of size and natural power. Jared Gordon, again, guy, pressure fighter, gets into your face, puts on combination, takes it to the ground, dominates for them, keeps shooting. He could do that, especially if Solecki gets tired, so there is that. But to me, Solecki gonna be able to take Gordon down because Solecki is bigger, and if he takes Gordon down, he's gonna be able to hold the top position for quite a while, or he's gonna be able to submit Gordon. I'm actually taking Joe by submission here. Let's see. If you like Gordon, I would say decision is probably the best because Gordon doesn't hit that hard, and Solecki, again, big guy, young, I don't think, even if he guesses, I don't think he's gonna get finished. Solecki, could be wrong, but to me the safest pick here is Solecki by submission. I'm throwing Solecki in some parlays, not that confident, but I think there's still a little bit of value on Solecki. Alright, to the next fight, Jamie Mullarkey versus Devonte Smith. It's a good one. Mullarkey, big guy for the division, 6 feet tall, long, long legs, long arms. Has a pressure fighter where he gets into your chest and swing the overhands, which is interesting because he's tall and long, but still has the pressure boxing style. He's effective because he does not only that, he shoots, he's a good grappler from top, And he's fighting Devonte Smith, who is a super athletic guy, super long, those arms, This guy can crack as well, good sprawl, good takedown defense. From his back, Smith is not the best, but he has that explosiveness. He can create scrambles and hip escape, can create space basically and hip escape. It's not an easy one to call. One more that I'm back and forth. I ended up going with Mullarkey. I think if he survives the first round, he's gonna be able to put the pressure on Smith. I think we're gonna see Smith start getting taken down and frustrated during the fight. Mullarkey could also again get to his chest and start banging inside, and then take him to the ground. I think this is the most likely scenario, but we will see Devonte Smith trying to keep the range on the outside, 1-2 type of things, basic sprawling and brawling. He could win definitely. This guy is athletic, he's powerful, he's in a good camp himself, So back and forth here, guys. I think Mullarkey, to me, a little bit more chances, and also he's a plus 130 dog, so I like a small bet on Mullarkey as well, because by my calculations, Mullarkey should be a small favorite because he's tough, he's big, and I think he has the better, maybe doesn't have the better cardio, but I think from the second round, his style favors a little bit better, alright? Douglas Silva versus Gaetano Pirrello. Actually, this one, guys, apologize, I didn't copy it as well, so disregard these things here. I'll just talk about the fight. The Silva likes to wait, a little bit. When the guy closes his range, he swings the punches, he hits hard, His combinations come more from hooks, but he doesn't have a boxing combination, straight punches, move the head and keep getting inside. This guy stays on the outside and swings, also has very good kicks, kicks hard to the calf, to the body, fast switch body kick. Gaetano Pirrello is a guy that comes forward, gets into the face and swings, This guy is aggressive, he's a quite big guy for the division as well. But they're fighting the bantamweight division here. Silva is not the tallest, he's 5'6", but he's not 5'5", I think. But he's not that, he's not small, guys. This guy he's muscular, he has a good cardio. That surprises, so he has a good cardiovascular system too, and he hits hard. The Silva also is the better wrestler of the two and definitely the better grappler, so we'll probably see Gaetano trying to close the gap. The Silva is gonna be timing that, swinging his overhands and then kicking and then eventually taking it to the ground. I think Silva, he dominates from the top. Now the question is, can Silva submit or finish Pirrello? Maybe he can. I don't quite remember now. I had to look at the stats again to take a good look. Basically, it will depend if Pirrello has a good submission defense game. I put it here as a not bad, and he can sprawl, defend, take down, but he's gonna be hit on the feet as well. So yeah, it's tough to tell. I think probably 50-50 between the Silva by decision side of the distance of decision, end up going decision. Pirrello probably not gonna risk that much in his UFC debut type of thing, so I'll be going with the Silva. Quite a strong pick. I'm thinking of parlaying him as well, but I'll probably wait for the weighting, see if he doesn't get too much range, because he fought as a featherweight and he's not a small featherweight. He fought as bantamweight before, so probably is not much of a concern, but he's also not that young any longer. So we'll see the weightings and maybe I'll parlay the Silva a little bit, alright? But picking the Silva decision. Jotko versus Misha Cirkunov is gonna be a very interesting fight, very Probably entertaining one, Jotko. He's a decision fighter, you know, guys that moves a lot, the feet and the head, likes to time his opponents with those hooks, with the not bad straight punches, can use a jab a little bit, you know, and can time his leg kicks, and also not bad from top. Jotko is a decent wrestler. Misha Cirkunov was a heavy hitter in the light heavyweight division, definitely gonna be a heavy hitter in the middleweight if he can cut it down right. So this fight is a middleweight division. Misha is coming down. Misha also has a good double leg. You know, he's not the best wrestler. You know, he doesn't chain that much, but he can time it. He has a good body lock. He drags you to the ground using the trips, you know, and then start taking the back. This guy from the back is very dangerous. He's an anaconda from top. You know, he also hits hard, like I said. So it's a tough one, guys. I'm signing with Kryzs just because by decision I think is the most likely scenario. You know, Kryzs Jotko winning by decision, but I definitely can see Cirkunov taking him to the ground, submitting. Jotko is not easy as well, but Misha is a big guy. He's got big power in those chokes. You know, he has a strong grip. You know, so you could see Misha, you know, hitting hard, you know, hitting and hurting Jotko on the feet and then take it to the ground, finishing him type of thing, you know. I'm back and forth, one more of these fights, you know. To me, the best bet here is probably Jotko by decision because of the cardio, because Misha, you know, he doesn't have much volume on the feet. It's basically heavy striking, you know, and he could guess. But again, not that confident. And Cirkunov at plus 130 makes it tempting to bet him because he's a big guy. Probably he fights right, he cuts it down right. He could be the favorite even, you know. So back and forth, guys. But I'm gonna be keeping my pick here with Jotko by decision. All right. So let's see how the weight goes. You know, you can wait to see if Misha looks good. It doesn't look too drained on the scales. You know, to bet Misha if you're interested into that. All right. And also I could do the same, you know, basically, and wait also to bet Jotko if Misha looks a drain or something, you know. On to the next fight, Casey O'Neill versus Antonina Shevchenko. This is a good matchup in the women's flyweight division. O'Neill, she's proving herself in the UFC. She's definitely a rising star here. I like her style. She's big, she's tough, she gets inside, she's a pressure fighter. Good striking, very good grappling, good wrestling. You know, so she's the hype. The hype is a little bit justified here, in my opinion. You know, she also has a good mindset for the game. She's been always a martial artist, you know, and she knows what she's doing there. She's not cocky, but she also has confidence, you know. So she's a full pack. She's also big and strong. She's fighting Shevchenko here, who is the sister of the champion Valentina. This girl is also an excellent fighter. You know, the difference between her and her sister is basically the body types, you know. Valentina is short and she's way stronger than Antonina. Antonina has the range, you know. She's a good Muay Thai fighter. It's tough to fight Antonina on the feet because she's also long, you know, long legs. Hits fairly hard. But when it comes down to close to dog fights, you know, Antonina doesn't fare well. She starts getting hit, you know, and she starts getting taken down. She's not the best grappler from her back. She's not a bad grappler either. You could argue that it's back and forth here between these two in the grappling part, you know. But guys, I think most likely Casey O'Neill will get inside, but I have a small doubt here because Shevchenko, she doesn't have that bad takedown defense. You know, I know she's got basically dominated against Andrea Lee on the ground. Casey O'Neill could do the same. There's a decent chance I may look full again, you know, betting on the underdog here. But I think that Antonina has a decent chance that she's gonna sprawl and keep it on standing. You know, O'Neill also has to close the gap to get inside, to out wrestle her. She's gonna probably gonna start getting hit and gonna start getting hit hard. You know, Casey O'Neill could feel the power and slow down a little bit, not like grind and push the pace so hard. I'm back and forth and there, you know, again, because O'Neill has the right mindset for the game, like I told you guys, you know, but once she gets in there, starts getting hit, it could be different because she's still pretty young, you know. So again, guys, tough one, you know. I'm taking O'Neill. I think it's the most likely scenario, but the best bet to me is Shevchenko by decision because it's not easy to finish O'Neill, but it makes sense to bet Shevchenko straight, in my opinion, because she has a small chance to finish O'Neill as well. All right, HOllland versus Kyle Daukaus. This is also another interesting fight. It'll basically depend which style HOllland gonna show up here. We know Daukaus. I like this guy, you know. People say that he's not as good as his brother. I disagree there. I like Kyle Daukaus a little bit better. I haven't watched the fight live on Kryzs against Shamil, so problem Kryzs again, you know, proving himself in there. But I like Kyle, guys. Kyle is a good fighter. He can do a little bit of everything. He's tall. He's long. He controls the range pretty well. You know, lots of combinations. He gets inside. He uses a good jab and then builds his combination around it. You know, keeps touching guys and take it to the ground. He's an excellent black belt. He fought tough guys there. You know, the people, the UFC put Kyle Daukaus against big names, and he did pretty well in my opinion. You know, at least he won a round in those fights. So, but still, you know, people I think are overlooking Daukaus here because of the loss. But Phil Hawes in a style that Phil Hawes was able to pace himself. It's super tough to deal with. And then he fought also Brendan Allen, who is a grappler, a big guy, right? So Daukaus had his moments in those fights, and this guy's tough. My question here is does he still has the mindset right? Because after a couple of losses, I've started people just talking about your brother, probably it's annoying. I'm not sure he's gonna bring his best here. I think he's a little bit annoyed that he lost his last fights. You know, you could tell by the look of his face. But he's fighting HOllland here, who we know the potential, we know the length, we know the good striking, but we know the takedown defense that basically it doesn't exist. Now, Kevin HOllland lost 2 in a row. We could see HOllland trying to be a little bit more patient in there, not getting closing the gap for his opponent, just giving takedown for his opponents. This guy from the outside, he's dangerous because he hits hard and he's at that length. So guys, it will again depend on which side, which version of HOllland is gonna show up here. I don't know, man. If HOllland shows is up as always, I think Daukaus is the favorite because I see Daukaus being able to survive those big shots, getting inside and taking HOllland and controlling him there. You know, I think this is the most likely scenario. I could be wrong here again. But Kyle by decision, I'm going to be picking him. I'm also going to be betting Kyle by decision because it's the safest bet here. You could bet HOllland by decision as well if he brings the style that he's not going to risk much. And HOllland has a small chance for the knockout as he always does. Right, but I think Kyle by decision is the safest pick here. All right, Thiago Santos versus Johnny Walker in the main event, probably an exciting fight here. Walker, guys, this guy is super tall and big and hits hard and creative and whatnot, you know. So he could basically win against anybody who starts getting off his style. But he's fighting a veteran here in Thiago Santos, a heavy hitter himself, you know. I expect that Thiago Santos is gonna fight smart here. I think he's gonna be waiting. He's gonna be let Walker be fancy out there, you know, burn his energy, trying to be, you know, like creative and whatnot. I think Thiago Santos is gonna wait for the right time to land that calf kick, and gonna wait for the right time to take it to the ground and hammer Walker down when he hits the ground. Of course, Walker has that flying knee. It's an excellent timing. The guy has fast reflexes. He's young and athletic. You know, Thiago Santos is 37, but don't make a mistake about this guy. You know, he's a physical specimen. You know, I think he's still got the strength and athleticism required for this. You know, I am quite confident on Thiago Santos. I think he's either gonna find calf kicks on the feet and start hurting Walker. You know, finding an overhand or just taking him down and hammering him. You know, Walker doesn't have much grappling, guys. You know, if you're betting Walker here, I would say bet by TKO because there's a small chance, you know, he could win a decision if Santos, you know, becomes gun shy and Walker can adapt and use that long range with the 1-2. You know, it would be smart. There's a case for that, but I think Thiago Santos here is the safest pick, and I'm gonna be parlaying Santos a little bit, like I told you guys. But there's a chance that Walker does what I said. You know, he learns a little bit. He's more patient, uses his range and times he leaves the creativity part for the right time, you know, but I still think he's young and he's still packing so many KOs under his belt. I think he's gonna try to be fancy again, and I expect that Thiago puts him out after, you know, not surviving, but after, you know, fighting slow in the round 1. So Thiago round 2, maybe it's an interesting one. And actually, I didn't put in the right order here. Aspen Ladd and Macy Chiasson to finalize this one. Sorry about the order, guys. So yeah, guys, I saw Chiasson with some improvements her last fight. I thought that she was trying to use the range better. She definitely has to use this here. If she's gonna do what she did before, which is close the gap and try to, you know, just be a bully in there, I don't think it's a style to fight against Ladd, because Ladd has a decent wrestling game, and she's scary from top. Aspen Ladd, you know, heavy ground and pound. So Ladd will do what she does, guys. Make no mistake about it. She's gonna try to move the head, get inside, shoot and hammer Chiasson on the ground. I think she does that. You know, Chiasson, she's a big girl. You know, 5'11", and she's long, and she's not skinny. You know, so Chiasson's a big girl for the division. I think she survives. You know, so the question is, can Chiasson stuff the takedowns and keep it standing? Don't think much. Probably Chiasson has to scramble back up and land heavier, which is again dangerous against Ladd. So I don't have much of a hold here. You know, most likely is Ladd implementing her style, but I'm not gonna be betting this one. I'm not that confident on Ladd and Chiasson. You know, she's still pretty, you know, green in her career. I think she needs more experience to implement a better style, right? So guys, thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, subscribe. Let me share with you my Patreon, the tiers that I have. For $5 lock of the night and top 2 parlays. I'll come up with this video shortly. Early releases for 10, so you can see this video from Patreon. If you're seeing that from Patreon, by the way, thank you very much for your support. For $15 is the line by line, all the prop bets that I'm taking. I'm gonna be showing you guys how this look like the previous card. And for $50 is the ultimate package where I put line by line, not only the props but all the bets that I take. Right. So guys, just to show you, I didn't yet close this on UFC 266 because, like I told you guys, I was not able to watch this live. So there are some the bets that I had here. So line by line, who I'm taking. You know, so I was parlaying. You know, some people, like I told, I bet and parlay Charnil. I lost that one. You know, so I had bet on Antonina when she opened up. You know, so I'm betting. I also got bets on you know, Rosenstruik, Marlon Moraes, so that the under profit cashed on Turner and Medic. Tyler Santos on points cashed pretty nicely. You know, Volkanovski. You know, so all of those fights that everything that I say there, you can obviously take your look on my strategy and build upon that. But in here, line by line, all the bets that I'm taking, right? So you can just basically see what I'm doing, and if the bet is good for you, you take it. If not, obviously it's your call, right? So I think it's pretty clear here. It's more like a ledger type of thing, you know, and then you can just easily follow this and use this to your best interest, right? So guys, thank you for watching again. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please like, subscribe, share with your friends. I'll talk to you next time. This time from Another Bet, bring the best, most consistent and transparent betting strategy for you.